Have you ever been in a forest and felt an inexplicable sense of peace, as if time slowed down and your soul finally found a home? It's no coincidence. Trees, these majestic guardians of time, communicate with us through an ancient language, an etheric frequency that can awaken unexplored dimensions of vitality and inner clarity. Prepare to discover how this age-old connection, validated by modern science, can literally rewrite your reality. The universe is not a random chaos, but a symphony of harmonic frequencies, an intelligent order permeated by a universal spirit. At the heart of this understanding is the figure of Thoth, the ancient Egyptian deity, revered as the custodian of hermetic wisdom and the language of creation. His history, however, has much older roots. Thoth was a priest monarch in Atlantis, a legendary continent where civilization reached the pinnacle of harmony and spiritual technology. The Atlanteans understood that consciousness is the foundation of all reality, and true power lies in the intrinsic potential of being, not in external artifacts. Their technology was the mastery of universal laws. When the cataclysm engulfed Atlantis, Thoth escaped with a sacred mission: to preserve the flame of wisdom. He founded a colony in Egypt, bringing with him knowledge that catalyzed the development of that civilization. His reign, which lasted millennia, was an era of peace and enlightenment, where Thoth acted as the archivist of the universe, keeper of the fundamental laws that govern all things. In time immemorial, a people had lost the memory of their essence, living like dormant seeds, unaware of the magnificence within them. A wise traveler arrived, pointing to the ancient forests surrounding them. "These trees," he said, "are guardians of a living library whose pages are written in the wind and deep roots. They know the song of creation, the same melody that once vibrated in your spirits. Listen, and you will remember." Many mocked the sage, but a few, the most sensitive, approached the trees. At first they heard only the rustling of the leaves. With patience and respect, placing their hands on the trunks, they began to feel a warmth, a slow but powerful rhythm. It was the heartbeat of the forest, and in that beat, their own dormant truth resonated. Slowly those dormant seeds began to sprout. Their roots spread, and their leaves opened to the sun, reminding them of their intrinsic connection to universal life. Before ascending, Thoth immortalized his knowledge in the legendary Emerald Tablets. He inscribed upon them the hermetic principles, the universal laws of creation. Among these, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. This phrase reveals that the entire universe is mirrored in us. The same laws that govern the stars also govern our souls. There is no separation. The macrocosm and the microcosm are mutual mirrors. Thoth has left us a map to awaken our power as co-creators of reality. The first instruction in this map is a shift in perception. The deepest communication occurs from consciousness to consciousness, through the exchange of energy and vibration. Thoth's legacy connects directly with the silent masters that surround us, the trees. He reveals to us that to relearn the language of creation, we must connect with those who have never forgotten it. Thoth's clue to energetic communication leads us to one of the most fascinating scientific discoveries. For centuries, we have seen forests as clusters of competing trees. Today, science is proving what ancient traditions knew. A forest is a superorganism, a collective intelligence connected by an invisible and complex network. Researchers like ecologist Suzanne Simard have discovered that a vast web of mycorrhizal fungi lurks beneath the soil. This network, nicknamed the Wood Wide Web, connects virtually all trees and plants. It's not a passive connection, but a high-speed communication channel, a biological information exchange system surprisingly similar to our internet, but organic and living. Through this network, trees communicate. They transmit vital nutrients to younger or diseased trees. Mother trees nourish and protect surrounding seedlings, recognizing and supporting their own offspring. They emit chemical warning signals to warn of pests, allowing neighboring trees to prepare their defenses. This communication transcends mere chemistry. Esoteric traditions such as Taoism and Druidism have always taught that trees are sentient beings that communicate through energy. They are seen as natural antennas. The roots absorb telluric energy, yin. The branches and leaves attract cosmic energy, yang. They are energy transformers, capable of absorbing dense and stagnant energies, including our negative emotions, and transmuting them into pure life force. This ability explains why we feel so good in a forest. We are immersed in a high vibrational energy field, purified and recharged by this collective consciousness. And we can actively participate in it. Every tree and every species possesses a unique vibrational signature, a frequency that resonates with different aspects of our being. A tree is not an object, but a portal. A forest is not a place, but a living temple. Thoth's wisdom on energetic communication thus takes on a practical and scientific dimension. We are witnessing a biological technology of healing and consciousness expansion that we have forgotten how to use. Is all this energy identical? Absolutely not. Just as each person has a unique personality, each tree species has a distinct energetic signature, with specific qualities and effects. Ancient peoples, deeply connected to nature, knew this instinctively. The Druids, the philosopher-priests of the Celts, not only venerated trees, but associated each with occult, healing, and spiritual properties. The oak, with its sturdy trunk, was a symbol of strength, resilience, and stability. Connecting with an oak meant seeking courage and perseverance. The willow, close to water and with flexible branches, was associated with intuition, lunar cycles, and emotions. Its energy helped release repressed feelings and allow change to flow. The Taoist traditions of ancient China mapped these energies with great precision. They considered pine trees powerful, almost immortal. Meditating under a pine tree could strengthen the nervous system, nourish the blood, and prolong life. The energy, or qi, they emitted was seen as pure vitality. Each tree, from cedar to bamboo, had its own energetic remedy, its own lesson. The location of a tree dramatically affects its energetic power. A solitary tree in an open field will have a different energy than one in a dense forest. Those near running water see their energy purified and amplified. A forest is a symphony of vibrations, a collective consciousness. This is why Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, is so effective. Science shows it reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and strengthens the immune system. We are immersing our energy field in an ocean of healing frequencies. How do we begin this conversation? The process is simpler than you might imagine, but it requires a change in attitude. We must abandon haste and arrogance, adopting humility, patience, and respect. It's like approaching a wise elder with reverence. The first step is choosing. Walk in a park or a forest with no fixed destination. Let your intuition guide you. Which tree catches your attention? Which one seems to invite you? Trust that call. The tree that attracts you is probably the one you need most. The connection has already begun. As you approach, do so slowly. Feel the ground. Breathe consciously. After a few steps, stop. Close your eyes and silently, in your mind, announce your presence. Greet, introduce yourself, and ask permission to connect. I come in peace and with respect. I would like to connect with your energy. Will you allow me? It's an act of acknowledging the tree's sovereignty and consciousness. Remain silent and sense the answer. It won't come in words, but in sensations. A wave of warmth, peace, a tingling sensation, or a simple yes. If you feel a blockage, respect it. Say thank you and walk away. Perhaps your energies aren't aligned that day. Once you've received permission, approach and establish physical contact. Gently place your hands on the trunk. Feel the texture of the bark, the temperature, the solidity. Sense the life slowly pulsating. Don't try to absorb the energy. The goal is to be present. Breathe and feel. Let the tree acclimate to your presence. This first contact is about building trust. Trees operate at a slower frequency than we do. They are beings of immense patience. By repeating this practice, you will begin to build a relationship. The tree will begin to recognize your energetic signature. It is in this space of familiarity and trust that true communication begins to blossom. Once this connection is established, the interaction can deepen into a conscious and reciprocal energetic exchange. This is where the practice becomes a powerful tool for healing and rebalancing. Trees are masters of transmutation. They absorb carbon dioxide and transform it into oxygen. Energetically, they do the same. They absorb dense, stagnant energies and transform them into pure life force. And they can do the same for us. The first step is release. We accumulate energetic pollution, stress, anxiety, past wounds. These energies lodge in our auric field and physical body, causing blockages. With your hands on the tree, close your eyes and set the intention to release all of this. Visualize these dense energies as dark smoke leaving your body, flowing through your hands and entering the tree trunk. Imagine this smoke traveling up the trunk, through the roots, and being delivered to the heart of the earth, where it will be neutralized and recycled. Don't worry, you're not polluting the tree. It knows how to handle this energy. Stay in this process until you feel a sense of relief, a lightness. You are literally unloading yourself, using the tree as a perfect biological grounding system. But the exchange isn't one way. Once you've emptied yourself of what you don't need, you've created space to receive. Now silently ask the tree to share its life energy, its strength, its peace. Visualize or feel this energy rising from the earth through the roots, filling the trunk with brilliant, vibrant light. Imagine this light flowing from the trunk through your hands and arms and into your body. Feel this healing energy spreading throughout you, filling every cell, every organ, every fiber of your being. Visualize it dissolving any residual blockages, calming your nervous system, clearing your mind, and revitalizing your spirit. Breathe in this energy. Allow it to fill you completely. This practice, described in ancient Taoist manuals as absorbing the qi of the tree, is a true energetic transfusion on a subtle level. With regular practice, something profound begins to happen. You're not just getting temporary relief. You're purifying and strengthening your energy field. You're teaching your body and consciousness to resonate with the higher, more stable frequency of the trees. And it's this ongoing practice of attunement that opens the door to the most lasting transformation, the ability to permanently raise your vibrational frequency. We've reached the core of this journey, the reason why this connection with nature is so transformative. Everything in the universe, including ourselves, is energy vibrating at a specific frequency. Our thoughts, our emotions, our health, everything can be measured as a vibration. Emotions like fear, guilt, and shame vibrate at low, dense frequencies. Emotions like love, joy, and gratitude vibrate at high, subtle frequencies. The famous law of resonance, a pillar of hermetic wisdom, states that like attracts like. We attract into our lives experiences, people, and circumstances that match our dominant vibration. Therefore, the key to radically changing our external reality is not to fight against it, but to shift our internal frequency. If we desire more joy, we must vibrate joy. If we desire more abundance, we must vibrate abundance. The problem is that most of us are stuck in a cycle of low vibrations, conditioned by stress, fear, and society's negative narratives. Connecting with trees is the most direct and powerful way to break that cycle. They are high-frequency anchors. By connecting with them, we are literally tuning our energy field to their high vibration, just like tuning a musical instrument. The ancient wisdom of Thoth teaches us that we can go beyond a temporary elevation. We can anchor this higher frequency in our being permanently, making it our new default state. This requires consciously integrating this energy into our lives. Regular practice of tree communion begins to create new neural and energetic pathways in our system. What was once a conscious effort to feel good begins to become our natural state of being. The peace and stability of the tree begin to become part of who we are, even when we are far from the forest. To amplify and stabilize this process, we can use another powerful tool that operates on the same vibrational principle: sound. Specific sound frequencies, such as the ancient and sacred solfeggios, have been used for centuries to facilitate healing and spiritual transformation. The frequency of 528 Hz, for example, is known as the miracle frequency and is associated with DNA repair. The frequency of 9163 Hz is linked to the activation of the pineal gland and connection to universal consciousness. Listening to these sounds while connected to a tree can dramatically accelerate the process of energetic recalibration. By combining the Earth's stable energy, channeled through the tree, the focused intention of our consciousness, and the vibrational power of sound, we activate what many esoteric traditions call the Merkaba, or our light body. This is a geometric energy field that surrounds our body and, when activated, allows our consciousness to operate on higher dimensions. We become less dense, lighter. Our default state becomes one of clarity, peace, and synchronicity. We begin to see the matrix of reality and navigate it with greater ease. This transformation isn't just a subjective experience or a spiritual belief. It has real, measurable effects on our physical body. Our sense of well-being, mental clarity, and inner peace are the result of real biochemical changes occurring in our system. Modern science, though using a different language, is beginning to map and demonstrate these exact effects, providing irrefutable evidence that this ancient practice is one of the most powerful forms of medicine in existence. Everything we've explored, once considered mystical, is now rigorously validated by laboratories and scientific studies. The bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science is under construction, and that bridge is called Shinrin-yoku. This Japanese practice, which translates to forest bathing, was developed in the 1980s in response to the rise in stress and lifestyle-related illnesses. The Japanese government has invested millions of dollars in research to understand its effects, and the results have been groundbreaking. Studies have shown that spending time in a forest environment induces profound and beneficial physiological and psychological changes. One of the most significant discoveries was the drastic reduction in levels of cortisol, the main stress hormone. In a world where chronic stress is epidemic, the forest has proven to be one of the most effective antidotes. Furthermore, blood pressure and heart rate stabilize, reducing the risk of cardiovascular problems. Activity of the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest and digestion, increases, while the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, decreases. But the most shocking discovery is related to our immune system. Scientists have discovered that trees and plants release volatile organic compounds called phytoncides into the air. These substances are the plant's immune system, which protects it from insects, fungi, and bacteria. When we walk in the forest, we inhale these compounds. Research has shown that inhaling phytoncides significantly increases the number and activity of our NK, natural killer cells. NK cells are a type of elite white blood cell, the first line of defense against tumors and virus-infected cells. A single day in the forest can increase NK cell activity by nearly 40%, and this effect can last for over a week. In essence, the forest is literally turbocharging our natural defense system against cancer and other serious diseases. The healing energy of trees, once considered a poetic metaphor, has been revealed to be a real and measurable biochemical phenomenon. This scientific validation is a turning point. It gives us permission to take seriously what our intuition has always told us: that nature heals us. The spiritual connection we feel when walking among trees has a physical and chemical basis. This means that the act of connecting with a tree, of exchanging energy with it, is not an eccentric gesture. It is a legitimate and powerful form of self-care, a preventative medicine that is free, accessible, and free of negative side effects. With this confirmation in hand, the journey takes on a new dimension. It's no longer about believing, but about knowing. We know it works. We know it transforms. True mastery of this practice lies not in becoming a hermit living in the forest, but in learning to bring the forest within. The most profound transformation occurs when one is able to integrate the energy and wisdom of trees into one's daily routine, especially in the chaos of an urban environment. It involves cultivating within oneself the qualities that trees embody: deep-rootedness, unwavering patience, flexibility in the face of storms, and the silent generosity of those who give without expecting anything in return. One of the simplest ways to get started is to bring nature into your spaces. Having plants in your home or office isn't just decoration. Each plant is a small antenna, a connection point to the broader consciousness of nature. Caring for them, watering them, and watching them grow is a form of active meditation that keeps the energy in your environment elevated and clean. They become constant reminders of your connection with the natural world, small energetic portals scattered throughout the day. Practice grounding daily, even without a garden. If you can, take off your shoes and stand barefoot on the earth or grass for a few minutes, allowing excess electromagnetic charge to be released and absorbing the Earth's free electrons. If that's not possible, do it through visualization. In the shower, in traffic, or in a traffic jam, close your eyes and imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, penetrating deep into the earth until they reach the center of the planet, anchoring and stabilizing you. Incorporate the tree mentality into your decisions. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, what would a tree do? The answer will rarely be a reactive impulse. A tree doesn't react. It bends. It isn't in a hurry. It waits for the right moment. It doesn't just think about itself. It considers the surrounding ecosystem. This perspective will lead you to wiser, more resilient, and long-term solutions that benefit not only you, but everyone involved. It's an exercise in applied wisdom. Constantly remember the energy exchange. In a moment of acute stress at work, instead of giving into panic, take a deep breath and visualize yourself leaning against that special tree you've bonded with. Imagine releasing all the tension in its trunk and receiving its calm and stability in return. Use images of forests or your tree as your phone or computer wallpaper. These small rituals keep the energy channel open and active even from a distance. By incorporating these habits, you'll stop being someone who visits nature and begin to become its ambassador in the human world. You'll become a bridge, a channel for the Earth's energy, radiating calm, stability, and balance to the people and spaces around you, often without uttering a single word. The journey that began with curiosity about a lost language and led us to the simple act of touching a tree culminates in a profound and radical redefinition of our identity. The experience of connecting with the intelligence of nature lifts us from the pedestal of mere observers placing us where we truly belong, as partners, as conscious co-creators of reality. The wisdom of Thoth and the silent language of trees converge to show us the same fundamental truth. Reality is not a solid, fixed entity that happens to us, but rather a fluid field of potential that responds to our consciousness and intention. By raising our vibrational frequency through this connection, the effect transcends mere personal well-being. The healing that manifests within us ripples out into the world. Every time we choose peace over anger, compassion over judgment, we contribute to the elevation of the planet's collective consciousness. The illusion of separation, the idea that there is an I here and a nature out there, begins to dissolve. The truth of interconnection becomes a lived experience. We are the Earth, and the Earth is an extension of our own bodies. The new human being emerging from this awareness is not defined by external technological advances, but by an inner awakening. It is a being who lives in harmony with natural rhythms, who does not seek all the answers externally, but finds them deep within, mirroring the silent and rooted wisdom of the trees. This is humanity's new dream, a return to sacred symbiosis with life, an era of conscious co-creation and profound interconnection. Are you ready to unlock your potential and transform your reality? Don't wait. Find a tree near you today. Follow the steps for first contact and experience the magic of energetic exchange. Share your experience in the comments below and tag a friend who needs this connection. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more insights on how to raise your frequency and live a more harmonious life. Your journey to higher consciousness begins with a simple step into nature.